WNYathletics.com would like to thank today's sponsors, Howard Hanna Real Estate Services. Ready to sell your home? Visit howardhanna.com today. Howard Hanna, home happens here. Western New York Immediate Care, with 4 convenient locations in the Buffalo area: Amherst, Buffalo, Depew, Lancaster, and Orchard Park. Western New York Immediate Care is now offering telemedicine services to provide you care anytime, anywhere. Visit WNY Immediate Care on-site or virtually at WNYimmediatecare.com. Logistics Plus Buffalo is your go-to resource for all your transportation needs. LP moves freight of all shapes and sizes all across the world. Call LP Buffalo today at 716-877-9653 or email buffalo@logisticsplus.com. AdPro Sports. AdPro is the largest team sports dealers and brand merchandise providers in the nation. For a variety of custom merchandise solutions, from apparel to promotional items, visit adprosports.com. Empire Electric. For all your home, business, or office electrical needs, call Empire Electric at 716-634-0330. Free estimates and financing available for all customers. Empire Electric. Call 716-634-0330.
A good Thursday evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to Charlie Ding Boom Field at Riverside High School in Buffalo, New York for Thursday night high school football. It's the Burgard Bulldogs and the Lewiston-Porter Lancers right here on Western New York Athletics. Here's what you can look forward to out of tonight's matchup. 4 weeks down, 4 weeks to go. The high school football season has reached its midway point, where we meet the Lewiston-Porter Lancers, 1-3 so far, looking to grow as a family.
We're a close family. You know, everybody knows everybody from this town, so it's like we all know each other, we've known each other, and it's special to go out and try to, make something happen for the community with these guys, especially for me. I've known them all my life, so it's awesome.
Battling through an injury-riddled senior season, James Marshall and his classmates turn to one of the youngest members of the Section 6 football community. Freshman Mason Bonito took over the reins under center this year.
There's a reason why he's on varsity as a freshman. I expect a lot from him, but also he expects a lot from himself.
Earning their first win in Week 3 over the Eagles of Lakeshore, the Lewiston-Porter Lancers look to bounce back after a tough loss last week to a dominant Iroquois team. The freshman Bonito leads the way offensively, while his counterparts on the defensive side of the ball have their hands full with plenty of talent across from them in their Week 5 matchup.
But luckily we match up well with Burgard, just like we matched up well with Lakeshore. Came out of Lakeshore on top, and I anticipate coming out of Burgard on top.
Also starting the year 1-3 overall are the Burgard Bulldogs. Under 20th season head coach Jason Kolb, he leads a mostly underclassmen-led roster this season with help from a couple veterans such as Doug Washington, who remembers last year's 8-2 victory over the Lancers.
I remember that game being physical too. We both tried to pass the ball, but that's not our strong suit. Our strong suit is running. So tomorrow is going to be a battle in the trenches again. I'm prepared for it.
The powerful running back and defensive end has embraced his role as leader on this young Bulldogs team in his senior season.
You don't need to say things half the time. He never really has bad words, but he does put things as they are. And he'll tell the kids right up, and kids are going to listen to him because they know he's a tough kid, he knows he's a strong kid, and he's a big leader of this team. It's a senior leader, so he's going to do what he has to do to win some football games.
The Bulldogs look to build back to prominence in Class B after reaching the sectional final back in 2016.
We're looking to really, push them, make them tougher, get them out there, get them the experience. So hopefully in, 1 or 2 years, we're in the finals of B again.
Consider halftime over. The second half of the football season kicks off with the Burgard Bulldogs.
1, 2, 3! Burgard!
Hosting the Lewiston-Porter Lancers.
Lancers!
Only on Western New York Athletics. Live from Charlie Ding Boom Field at Riverside High School in Buffalo, New York, Thursday night football just about set to get underway. The captains of the Burgard Bulldogs and Lewiston-Porter Lancers set to line up at midfield for the coin toss. A good Thursday afternoon, folks. I'm Jack Cruiser, joined by Coach Mike Fata. Coach, good to have you back with us again. Week 5, we're halfway through the year, entering the second half. How do you feel?
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Sorry, we got Coach muted for a hot sec.
I'm better off that way.
Coach, let me ask you one more time. How you feeling entering the second half here?
Well, yeah, it flies, right? And I think before you know it, the weather's going to change, and we're going to be into playoff football.
Oh, it's just a great time of year, eh? When the weather starts to turn, the leaves start to change. And we'll send you now down to our head official, Mike Binkowski, for the coin toss.
Officials, Mr. Argentieri is your umpire today. Mr. Huber is going to be the back judge. Mr. Aquilina is going to be the line judge, taking care of the clock. Mr. Eck is going to be your lineman today. If we have a problem with the clock, let us correct it. You guys just concentrate on playing football. If correct it, we'll notify one of you captains that the clock has been fixed. Concentrate on playing the game of football. Number 5 and number 15, you are the gentlemen have the right to call the coin toss. You can see the head and the tail. You're the visitors. What's your pleasure?
Heads.
Heads is the call. Heads is the coin. What would you like? Kick, receive, defend, or defer?
Defer.
Toss. First, second half. Burgard will take the ball. Which way would you like to kick it?
Kick it that way.
I want to go with you on it.
This goal.
You want your back at that goal.
Yes.
Let's go over there. I'm going with you on the deferment. On the deferment.
So the Lewiston-Porter Lancers will kick off to start the first half of play. Burgard will attack offensively. Coach Fata, these two teams 1-3 overall at the midway point, but they're still light at the end of the tunnel looking at the playoffs.
Yeah, well, it should be a pretty even matchup today. I think both teams are in a position where they can turn their season around. It'll be interesting to see how the tonight goes in terms of who executes and really who stays healthy. Both these teams have been injured on both sides, so we'll see really what the depth looks like today as well.
Last-minute lineup changes for both teams. Burgard calling up a couple JV players. Lewiston-Porter, no JV program, so they've got their full roster of players to choose from, though missing a few key pieces. Tommy Pozak, the starting middle linebacker, will not be with the Lancers today. Neither will their starting offensive lineman or defensive lineman, Dom Sarakis. We'll dive into that deeper as play unfolds on the field. Beautiful day in Buffalo, New York for football, 54, and the sun setting in the background. Beautiful sun here tonight. No clouds in the sky. Don't worry about any tropical storms over this football game in Buffalo, New York. Glad to have you with us here on Western New York Athletics, kicking off your early weekend of high school football. We've got games throughout the weekend here on our channels, 5 more after tonight. Again, more on that at halftime as Tom Prince will join us then. We've got Francis Beck down on the sideline, Mike Fata to my right, Heidi Gunther on the boards, Mario Hall, and BJ Stack on the cameras tonight. It's a full crew from Riverside High School, and we are underway as Kennedy kicks it up the middle, scooped up around the 25. Still loose on the ground. Finally able to fall down on it is Zaire Hayes.
Yeah, Hayes struggled there. I thought he was going to scoop it up and run, but he was, the nerves maybe of the beginning of the game.
So the Burgard Bulldogs, fresh off a I beg your pardon, a 4-6 last year. They're 1-3 this year so far, looking for their first win in Class B1 play. They'll start on offense at their own 22-yard line here in the first quarter. The junior quarterback, Najee Starks, under center for the first snap at their own 22. And a flag in the backfield goes as the handoff forces Doug Washington to lose a shoe. The flag will be against Burgard. That'll negate anything that we saw there. You might want to tie the shoes up a bit tighter, Coach, on the first play of the game.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Right away, just a straight dive from Burgard, but the shoe came loose, and they tackled for him a loss, but a bigger loss on a penalty, but they have a 1st and 15 in front of them.
So 1st and 15 now with 11 ticks gone by thanks to the kickoff and the first play penalty. Starks gets the play call from his head coach, Jason Kolb, in his 20th season as head coach with the Burgard Bulldogs. Starks wants to go through the air. He throws to the far sideline. Johnson was there, though it falls incomplete.
He bounced it up there. With the penalty, though, it is only 2nd down. They try to get a quick 5 yards back there, but unsuccessful, so they're behind in downs.
There for a brief second, you saw Tommy Pozak on the sideline for Lewiston-Porter, usually in the center of that Lancer defense at the linebacker position. Now a pitch to the near side. Jahad Johnson. And a flag flies in around the 30 as Johnson picked up around 6 before the flag.
So Lewiston's in a 3-5 defense with a lot of guys packed in the middle there. They brought pressure up the middle as well, so there was room on the outside. And you could see that with a little bit of room how the Burgard running back squirted through there. But again, we have laundry on the ground.
It'll be a hold against Burgard, a spot foul in high school football here in Western New York. So they'll back him up 10 yards from the spot. It won't be too bad of a loss, though it's still 2nd and long. 2nd and 15 from the 18.
So all those defenders packed in the middle. I could see Coach Kolb trying to attack the outside here, especially with his long distance in front of him.
The junior Starks back under center. Rolls out to the near side. Throws from the hashes. Nearly intercepted along the near sideline. It was David Kennedy breaking on it, trying to make a play. He watches it sail out of bounds.
Starks had his receiver out there in the flood route, but he just missed him. Brashton Neal.
More flags will back things up even more for Burgard. How about that, Coach? 3 plays, 3 flags.
Yeah, it's ineligible downfield. Yeah, 3 different flags too, so they're all over the board here.
However, this latest one has been declined, so that'll keep us on 3rd down, 3rd and 15. Washington on the right hip of Najee Starks. In motion springs Traquan Guilford. The pass to the near side, tipped and caught by Marquavius Bradley. Bradley is well short of the 1st down marker. It'll bring up 4th and long.
Yeah, Starks was flushed to the right side there. I'm not sure if it was a design sprint or not, but that cut the field in half for him, and then Lewiston rallying to shore up the tackle for minimal gain there. Bill, interesting to see the punt game. I know with a lot of injuries come special teams mix-ups, and not sure how much that affected the Burgard here, but the punt game is usually something that is crucial in tight games like this.
It'll be Bradley to punt it away. The sophomore boots it away to midfield. Stopped right where it lands, inside Burgard territory. The Lewiston-Porter Lancers will take the field offensively for the first time with 10-12 to go in the first quarter of play. Burgard going 3 and out on their first drive. From the opposing 42, We get a look at the freshman quarterback, Mason Benito. Boy, can he sling it, and he's done so a lot so far this season. 347 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns. It's the most passing yardage amongst freshman quarterbacks in Western New York. And a flag before the snap.
And not a focused start for Burgard. I think they've had a penalty in every play they've run so far, right? I mean,
that would be correct. So we'll move it forward. 1st and 5 now for Lewiston-Porter.
Lewiston-Porter hasn't had to do anything.
Defensively, they had that one pass broken up. We'll see what they can do offensively. Benito under center. 1st and 5 from the 37. A pitch to James Marshall. Met near the line of scrimmage. Springing in the backfield was number 11, Makari Mims.
And Burgard brought probably 6 or 7 guys there, all at the line of scrimmage at the snap.
So it's a run for 1 yard for Marshall. 2nd down and 4. The penalty has been the most yardage gained for Lewiston so far. Marshall can change that here. Makes some moves to the outside. Marshall meets 3 Bulldogs at the hashes and is taken down near the 1st down marker.
He'll be close here. He was kind of looking for his opening to put his head down and finish that run. I'm not sure if he made it. I'm going to mark him a little short.
3rd down and 1. A big moment here for Burgard if they can force a 3 and out after allowing possession in their own territory for the first drive of the game for the Lancers. They've moved just 4 yards on the ground, and a 5-yard penalty sets them up for 3rd and 1.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Marshall again here.
Benito under center. Keeps it. Pushes forward and easily picks up the 1st down.
Benito keeps his feet. He might have went there.
Looked like he was just trying to dive to get that 1st down. He goes from the 34 to the 29 for a pickup of 5 and the 1st down.
Talking to Coach Tracy before the game, he said he intended on feeding James Marshall to the extent that he could. So we'll see in this first fresh set of downs here if that's how way he attacks the Burgard D.
1st and 10 from the 29. Lewiston, the first team to pick up a 1st down in our game today. 7:40 to go in the 1st quarter. Still no score. Now in shotgun. Benito hands it off again to Marshall. Cuts up the middle. And he's met about 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. James Marshall off an injury a few weeks ago. He didn't play much offense last week. He came back and played some defense against Jamestown in a tough loss for the Lancers. It was a 62-0 loss at Iroquois. That Iroquois team dominant at all positions, offensively and defensively. They've got different players at every spot. No one playing both sides of the ball. You'll see a lot of that here today. 2nd down and 7 after the pickup of 3 on 1st. Looking through the air, Benito goes end zone. Incomplete. Looking for Matt Barber.
It was in the area. The Lewiston offensive line and backs did a great job of picking up pressure from the Burgard side. Thought someone was going to squirt through there, but a back picked them up, and it's got to have Benito feeling good about himself back there to be comfortable enough to throw the ball.
I got to go to practice on Tuesday at Lewiston-Porter High School. I had to ask Coach who Benito was and which guy he was, because he fit in with all the freshmen, all the seniors rather. You wouldn't be able to tell he was just in 9th grade, starting his 1st week of high school classes earlier this month. A botched snap is handled by Lewiston and Quinn Walton, who falls back on it from the running back position.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Tracy's fired up to have a freshman quarterback in his first season as a head coach. I know anyone would really like to have that situation. He knows he's going to be working with the same signal caller for the next 4 years here, and somebody build a program around.
A loss of 7 on third down will bring up 4th and 14. From the Burgard 33, the Lancers set up in shotgun. 2 wide on the near side. Going deep, Benito. Incomplete. He was looking for Jake Quantarillo, but Quantarillo was about 5 steps behind that pass.
Yeah, I question that. I think, this early in the game and Burgard not really showing anything on offense, you think he might want to punt that down and make him go the distance, but he must have saw something where he thought he could take a shot there.
So a turnover on downs after 1 first down picked up for the Lancers will bring out the Burgard offense nearly right where they left off on the previous possession. 1st and 10 from their own 33. Just 6 minutes to go here in the opening quarter of play. Doug Washington will pick up 3.
To make a hole for himself.
So 2nd down now for the Bulldogs. 2nd and 6 after a 4-yard gain from Washington. They hand it off again to the power back. Makes a move in the backfield. Beats another. Still on his feet. Rumbling his way to the 50. Washington picks up the 1st down.
Strong run from Washington again. I really think that's Coach Scobe's best way to attack that defense is kind of get it off tackle, a little to the perimeter there, but just kind of going around those defenders and not through the middle of the defense.
13-yard pickup for the power back Washington. Grew up watching Marshawn Lynch. You can see a little of that in his game. 1st and 10 right at midfield at the 50. Handoff again. Washington picks up a few. I beg your pardon. Make that Mims on the carry. Number 11 gets that call. Washington takes a breather. 2-yard pickup.
Burgard getting something going here on the ground.
2nd and 8, 4:20 to go. Handoff this time to Jihad Johnson. Bounces to the outside. Johnson dragged down by the shoulder pad. He picks up the 1st down.
A little change up there in terms of personnel for Burgard. You can tell Johnson's quicker than Washington a little bit, and I think that maybe threw off the defensive end who came clean there. I thought he had a loss, but Johnson squared by him and got a good game for a 1st down.
2 first down picks picked up already for the Bulldogs on this drive. 1st and 10 inside the 40 at the 38-yard line. Coach, we saw a lot of this formation in week 1 with the Dunkirk Marauders. A lot of this power I. So at this point, it's rolling out to the near side. Starks to throw. Pass is caught. Brashawn McNeil taken down after the catch.
Yeah, a little sprint out there.
First completion on the day for Najee Starks. Pickup of 4. Now inside the 35. Burgard showing they can do it more than one way. This time Washington gets tackled by the line of scrimmage. Shooting in the backfield was number 19, Corey Timke.
Number 55, Jack Baird, though, forced that in. He got upfield. He used his hands real well to force that in and cut it back to the rest of his defense. So Baird set the edge, and his teammates cleaned that up.
Still a pickup of 1 as Washington's able to fall forward. 3rd down and 5 to go at the 33-yard line.
You got to think Burgard's thinking they have 2 downs here.
We saw Newport go for it on 4th down in the offensive territory on their first drive. 3rd and 5, Starks in shotgun. Springs McNeil in motion, and a flag for a delay of game call. Another penalty called on the Bulldogs, the 5th already today.
Yeah, different situation, 3rd and 10 and 3rd and 5. So, coach changing personnel.
Both teams 1-3 this season, looking to remain in the playoff hunt. 3rd and 10. From the 38, Starks rolls left. Pressured, throws over the middle, nearly intercepted, but knocked to the turf for an incomplete pass by Quinn Walton.
And Walton got his hands on it. Thought Starks was going to take off there.
We've got a scoring update. South Park taking on Star Point. The Sparks leading 8-0 with 6.5 to go in the first quarter there. Noah Willoughby showing off his arm we got to see a few weeks ago.
Willoughby's the real deal.
Already nominated for the Connolly Cup. We'll recap those Connolly Cup nominations from last week later on this broadcast as we approach the final 2 minutes of the first quarter. 4th and 10 from the 38. The offense remains on the field. Starks goes deep down the left side. That one tipped and falls incomplete. Jake Quarantillo makes the play, negating the offensive chance for Conte Land.
I think Quarantillo was going to catch that ball, which would have been a terrible mistake. He'll probably tell you that he was just knocking it down after coach talks to him. Either way, it's Lew-Port football.
Back-to-back incompletions on 3rd and 4th down, and we've got back-to-back drives ending on turnovers on downs. No score under 2 minutes to go. From the 38-yard line, Lew-Port can't go anywhere. It's Washington in the backfield.
Counter action in the backfield, and that wasn't fooling anybody. They got him for a good loss.
They were at the 38, now at the 35 for a loss of 3 on first down. The Burgard Bulldogs 8-0 all-time against the Lew-Port Lancers. Benito throws near side. That pass complete to Quarantillo. Met immediately, continues to churn the legs, and finally goes down past the 40.
Great catch and tough run by Quarantillo.
Our first passing completion on the day. It's a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, the first quarter running down already.
Under 40 seconds to go, 3rd and 4. From the 39, Benito throws the screen pass to Quarantillo. He's got the first down and then some. Finally taken down at midfield. It's number 13, Ashton Taylor, making the play as we approach the final 25, though they stopped the clock for the chain gang to move down the field after the pickup of the first down.
Quarantillo's receivers there did a good job of blocking for him as he cut that quick little screen. Looked like he might have squared through past that tackle, too. It would have been a bigger gain.
14-yard pickup nonetheless. Quarantillo back-to-back receptions. As the final seconds tick away in the first quarter, will step aside and come back for quarter number 2 after we go down to Francis Beck on the sidelines. Francis, what do you got for us?
All right, Jack and Mike, you know, we know all the time about football players that play soccer, vice versa. This Lew-Port team has 4 of them on there, You have Dave Kennedy, Quinn Walton, Brody Burnham, and Matt Skursky. And usually, these guys are just there to kick field goals, extra points, because, they can kick in soccer. But these guys are real contributors. Check this out. David Kennedy, he has 120 rushing yards. He has 16 total tackles. And Matt Skursky's also one of the Lancers' leading tacklers as well, with 15 tackles as well. So Lew-Port relying on these guys to play 2 sports at once. They have a soccer game tomorrow against Ken Maurice. They'll also be facing the Bulldogs. Jack, Mike, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Francis. We'll now send you to a quick commercial break before quarter number 2 begins. We'll be back right after this.
Isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of business?
Back for the second quarter. It's a 1st and 10 for the Lew-Port Lancers on the Burgard 47 as they've moved the chains once. They look to do it again here, and the pass from the freshman falls incomplete, looking for his favorite target, Quarantillo.
Good position by the Burgard corner there. That Quarantillo gave him a little inside-out fade, and he didn't fall for it. He kept his hips square, and he was right there in great position.
On that far side, number 8, Traquan Guilford, making the play defensively for the Bulldogs. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Lancers. Good to see some soccer players getting some love on the football team, Coach. Not just kickers, athletes as well.
Yeah, you don't see that often.
2nd and 10, handoff to Marshall. In the backfield, he pushes off one defender, scoots to the outside and cuts up field for a decent gain on 2nd down.
Yeah, Marshall's a strong runner. He's not going to go down easy, and they had him for a big loss. He fought through that and gave his team a chance to get a manageable 3rd down. You can see why Coach wants to feed him, because he's a strong runner.
Picks up 5 on the play. 3rd down and 5 from the 42 now. In the backfield was Clabell Brooks, who's just called up from the JV team today, wearing number 22. He's got the red sleeves on the D-line. Shotgun snap, handoff, Marshall. Right side, Marshall to the numbers. Lowering the shoulder is Kente Land. Just around the 1st down marker, they spot him past the chains. 1st down.
And you got a favorable spot there and moves the chains. I don't know how that works with soccer players, that 2-team sports. It's a little easier when you're just a kicker. I don't know how they do the practices.
Schedules are tough. Yeah, like you said, easy enough to have them come in for the special teams work. To be a key part of the defense or offense. A lot of dedication. Benito, the freshman, throws on the run. His pass is caught over the middle. It's Nathan Haglish.
Haglish went down and got it. Lew-Port mixing it up. They're looking good. They're executing their offense and moving the chains.
To the 27-yard line. A pickup of 12. 1st and 10. Benito keeps it again. Tosses to the near side. Walton makes the catch. And Walton takes it to the 15 and past it. Another 1st down.
Lew-Port getting their quarterback outside the pocket with some play action, some sprint outs. And a consecutive 1st downs back to back. It'll tighten up down here, though, so let's see how they attack it being inside the 20.
Still no score, 9:19 to go in the 2nd quarter. Lew-Port knocking on the door Last year, they scored just 2 points against the Bulldogs. Marshall gets the handoff to the outside, picks up one block. That's all he'll get before Marshall is taken down by Brooks.
Marshall moves that pile forward, though, every time. You could tell you think he's going to go on for a loss or a short gain, and he just barrels his way through, and he picks up a couple yards after contact every time he touches it, really.
A key that was missing last week against Iroquois was Marshall on the offensive side. You can understand why Coach told us before the game, we want to get him involved as much as possible.
Right, he's a tough kid, you can tell, and perimeter runs too against a fast defense. So he's got it all.
Second down and 3 from the 7. Benito looks end zone, rolling right, pressure coming, toss, incomplete. Looking for Marshall again.
You know, Marshall's tough, but it's probably good that was incomplete. It might have been a loss if he would have caught the ball there. Benito off target a little bit.
Benito loves to throw on the run like that. If he can master that as a freshman, well, look out for the next 3 years.
Right, it's easy to forget this kid's a freshman, right? I mean, he's got a lot in front of him, and man, the play of RC quarterback position as a freshman, something special.
Well, that's what their head coach did, Derek Tracy. 4-year starting quarterback at Lewiston-Porter back in the early 2000s.
Is that right?
His young apprentice now just 7 yards away from a touchdown here. Benito looks that way. It is tipped and incomplete. He was looking for Matt Barber over the middle. Thought he had it, and it falls through the hands. Back-to-back incomplete passes brings up 4th down and 3.
Yeah, you wonder if Coach's background as a quarterback is influencing his play calling here down the 7-yard line.
It's Derek Tracy's first year as head coach, his 4th with the program. What has he drawn up for 4th and 3 from the 7?
Another
Benito
pass.
in shotgun. Steps back and throws. Caught inside the 5. Is it enough for the first down? It was Barber on the catch.
I think it is.
First catch on the day, a 5-yard catch. That brings up a 1st and goal for the Lancers. Under 8 minutes to go in the first half, still awaiting our first point scored.
Gutsy calls there by Coach Tracy. I'd be running it.
Marshall's the one that got you down there. He's got 22 yards so far. Yeah. He's in the backfield now with Walton.
What he's doing is working. He's got 1st and goal.
Benito under center. Handoff. Marshall met at the line of scrimmage. Keeps the legs moving. Touchdown! James Marshall opens the scoring. Lewiston takes the lead 6-0 with 7 minutes to go in the first half.
What a great drive by Lewiston. I mean, they executed all the way down the field. I don't think they took any negative plays. Running, passing, they looked really balanced. And they finished with a touchdown. You can't ask for more than that.
Well, they took possession over with 1:54 to go in the first quarter of play from their own 38. They march all the way down, and with 7:23 to go in the first half, they put the first points up on the board and will send out their kicker, Kennedy, for the extra one. Barber to hold after catching the touchdown, or the setup for the touchdown play. That gutsy call paying off for Lewiston. They've already scored more points than they did last year, even without this extra point. As it gets blocked in the way.
Those are big. That could come back to haunt them. I know. And in the past, Burgard's gone for 2 a lot.
We'll step aside. 7:23 to go in the first half of play. The Lancers score first. How will the Bulldogs respond? We'll find out after this.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
You're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 8.
Back from Riverside High School, the Lewiston-Porter Lancers marched down the field and put up the first points on the day on a 13-play drive capped off by Marshall's 2-yard touchdown run. The Bulldogs look to respond as scooping it up and taking it across the midfield logo is number 16, Tariq Wiggins, and he's taken down before he reaches the opposing 45.
Different story than the opening kickoff there. He took it and he was a player away from breaking that.
The best field position on the day for the Bulldogs. Starting position anyway. They'll start on Lewiston-Porter's 47.
I think Higgins might have tripped on the repaired turf there on the B, Jack.
That might have done it. In the backfield, Starks hands it off for Johnson. Johnson up the right side, and the hash marks. He's taken down at the 45. A minimal gain on first down. We'll pick up 2.
And Burgard stretching the wide side of the field there, trying to get around the end. He gets a few yards. The more he can stretch out that defense, the more you'll see him show that same motion and then hit him up the middle, I think.
Starks in shotgun. A receiver in the slot on each side. Johnson in motion, and a flag will stop the play. Sixth penalty on the day against Burgard. A scoring update from Williamsville South. They're taking on the Bulldogs of Kenmore East. Still in the first quarter, it's a 14-7 lead for Joe Licata's Will South Billies. 6:20 to go in the first half of this game from Riverside. 6-0 Lewiston-Porter. Johnson in motion on 2nd down and 13. Johnson sent back to the left side. Starks takes the snap. He's going to run with it along the near side. Starks can't turn the corner. A wrestling takedown for number 19 in white, Corey Timke.
Timke had some good pursuit there and just hawked him down. I think Starks thought he might have had the edge, but no dice.
A pickup of 1. We'll get back one of those yards marked off for the penalty. 6-0 Lewiston-Porter leads. Burgard looking to respond. Their last time out, a turnover on downs in offensive territory. 3rd and 12 at the 49 of Lewiston-Porter. Same formation for the Bulldogs. Starks looks left, throws over the middle. A wobbly pass is tipped. Kente Land was the intended receiver again. Jake Quarantillo right there to deny it.
Yeah, Quarantillo was all over that. I thought for sure he had interceptions. Starks really telegraphed that pass, and Quarantillo sitting back there, and it was all over it.
There you get a look at the defensive coordinator for the Lancers, Tim Shippey. 4 years spent as offensive coordinator at Lewiston-Porter. This his 3rd as DC. 4th down and 12. Bulldogs lined up to punt. 5:14 to go in the second half. This first half, second quarter. Rolling right. Marquavius Bradley tries to beat a man around the sideline. Taken down around the numbers. It'll be a minimal gain. Not near enough for the first down. Lewiston-Porter takes over on downs.
The special teams are always a factor in these tight games, and I think that, again, the the injuries that both teams have come across strain those special teams even more sometimes. I wonder if that made a factor into that play, but Newport takes over in about midfield here, good field position.
5:06 to go in the first half. From their own 46. Benito steps around one tackle and is taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
And Benito was pressured immediately. He kind of took his eyes away from downfield and let him worry about his well-being there as he pulled it down. He was just trying to squirt through and make something out of that play. But
Zari Hayes was in his face there, bringing him down. Hayes looked like he was pushed away by the right tackle of Lew-Port. They're missing their key right tackle, Dom Chirakis, who's usually the big body out there, 6 feet 220. He is on the sideline for the remainder of his senior season after suffering an injury in the previous couple weeks. A lower body injury will sideline him to end his high school playing career. On the end around here, cutting up the sideline, moving the chains is Corey Timke.
Timke gets the edge there and moves the chains. The backfield action held the defense in the middle just long enough to slip the ball to Timke. He gets the edge and got a 1st and 10.
First and 10 from the 41. A pickup of 11 for Timke. Handoff this time to Marshall. James Marshall picks up a block of Walton, and he meets Washington at the hole. A good gain on first down.
Yeah, again, Marshall moving that pile. He puts his head down at the end of his runs, and he gets 2-3 more every time. You know, that was the difference in that down between a 2nd and 7 and a 2nd and 5. Newport's spreading them out here.
Hand off to Marshall again. Washington not allowing him an inch. You see the power from number 1 on offense, but he might be an even better defensive end.
Yeah, he pushes that line back. He sets that line of scrimmage for sure. He and number 50, Willie Manuel, the two of those guys really set that line of scrimmage on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Under 3 minutes to go. Lew-Port looking to double up on Burgard. They scored on their last time out. Benito looking left, throwing left. Quantarillo makes the catch. He's thrown to the ground immediately by Traquan Guilford, not before picking up the first down.
Yeah, hitches out of Lew-Port. They spread him out and a little timing route, perfectly executed. And I'll tell you, they've moved the chains when they've had to. Another good drive from Lew-Port. Threatening to score before the half here.
15-yard gain for Quantarillo.
If Lew-Port can score here, they're going to get the ball in the second half as well, and they might run away for this. So it's a big series here for Burgard.
Benito looking to pass again. This time going deep to the end zone. He's got Barber, incomplete. Kente Land in coverage on the play. Gets a hand from the receiver of Lew-Port off the turf.
Barber forced to play defense there, and good thing he did because I think Burgard was going to haul that one in. Benito has an arm, though, huh?
For a freshman, you just have to keep saying it to remind yourself. This guy's in 9th grade. Lew-Port's got a bright future ahead of him for at least the next 3 years.
Right, that was a 40-yard pass right on the money, and for a freshman, that's impressive.
Second down and 10 from the 30. The freshman launches that one short, and Walton's mad at himself after dropping that one.
I don't know if Walton should be mad at himself. That would have been a heck of a catch if he pulled that in.
We've seen that a couple of times, those short bloopers, almost tougher than the deep shot for Benito.
Right, and that one would have been a heck of a catch for Walton. I don't know. I appreciate the sentiment, though. He's a competitor, but a little too hard on himself, I think.
Quinn Walton also not expected to play today. He had an injury. He was out of practice on Tuesday, but he's out there in the slot on the right end of your screen wearing number 11. Benito takes a snap, looking to pass again, throws to the near sideline. It tips off the fingertips of Matt Barber and falls out of bounds.
Yeah, all the hitches again.
Can you tell that the head coach was a quarterback?
Well, the fact that he brings up a freshman, and that seems to be a good decision. Benito's solid now, and in years to come, he's going to be even more of a player, right? But there's 2 minutes left in the half. I don't think the clock's an issue at this point, but you could tell in the touchdown drive too. He was throwing the ball down on the goal line, and it worked. So, he knows what he has, and so far he has a good grasp of what's going on out there. And again, there's a crucial drive for them and Burgard.
3 straight incompletions for the Lancers. Benito wants to change the fortunes. That one tips again, this time off of Ashton Taylor's hands. A turnover on downs after 4 straight incomplete passes brings out the Burgard offense.
I think Benito wanted to throw the post there on the single side, and he kind of second-guessed himself. I think he had it. He hesitated enough to come off of it, and then he threw it to the almost to the other team.
From the Burgard 30. It's 1:46 to go in the first half of play. 6-0 Lewiston-Porter. First and 10, the Burgard Bulldogs looking to respond after giving up the only score of the game 2 drives ago. Their last 2 times out, turnover on downs. This pass complete along the near side to Kente Land.
Burgard's hoping to capitalize on this last couple of minutes because they'd be in a lot better shape if they scored, giving up the ball in the second half.
Be it a wise play design or wise route concept there from Land. He ends himself out of bounds, stopping the clock after the pickup of 8.
I think he wanted more. He just happened to step out of bounds there.
Starks has plenty of space to his right. He declines the space and throws. It's in and out of the arms of Bradley. Incomplete.
Well, Bradley's upset with himself because he could have had that and would have been a first down moving the ball, but instead it's going to be a 3rd and short.
The sophomore Bradley stands well over 6 feet tall. You can tell he's got really good talent. He's just a raw talent. When you have a sophomore starting as your number 1 receiver, it's got to be difficult to work with sometimes, and you get plays like that where it maybe should be a catch and jitters get to you maybe.
Well, with experience comes poise, and maybe that's a factor there, but nonetheless, it's going to be a 3rd and short and pivotal down.
Doug Washington will block. Starks thought about running. He needs to get rid of the football. A flag is down in the backfield. Starks will huck it down the sideline. He's got a man wide open down the near sideline. Brashawn McNeil makes the play, though the flag may bring this all the way back. And it will. A hold against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the hold's going to negate a heck of an effort from Starks, who looked like Doug Flutie back there running around. That's a shame, too, because that could have turned the game here. Sometimes when the quarterback's running around, those linemen don't know where he is, and they have a defender going somewhere they didn't anticipate, and sometimes the reaction is to grab him.
Coach was saying that a lot at practice as well yesterday, where he had to kind of drill that into his players. We're going north and south. If you go east and west, you're going to get called. We're going to have flags if we go east and west, especially on plays like that. But, it's nothing else Starks could do on that play.
Yeah, Starks did everything he could. But get out in the open, the referees love throwing that stuff out in the open. Easy calls when linemen are on an island like that.
An injury on the field forces a timeout by the officials. It'll allow both teams a chance to draw something up. Lew-Port's defense getting the wording from Tim Shippey as popping back onto his feet along the near sideline is Burgard's receiver and cornerback Land. 6-0 our score, 1:16 to go in the first half of play. It'll be third down and quite long. Moving from the 38 all the way back to the 23. It's a loss of 15 thanks to the penalty that occurred 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Burgard better be careful here because they could get the ball back with good field position. They're not smart about their calls and their execution.
From the 23. 3rd and 17. Throwing is Starks. Catching along the sideline is number 8, Traquan Guilford. Well, Guilford caught it back where the 35-yard line is. So an 11-yard gain will bring up 4th and 5. We'll step aside during this timeout and come back for 4th and 5 with a minute to go in the half. We'll be back right after this.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
4th and 5 for the Burgard Bulldogs. 1:04 seconds to go in the half. Their drop back to punt with Marquavius Bradley. And Bradley will boot this one away. Quantarillo, deep to receive it, will allow it to bounce once before the Bulldogs down it at the 35.
Yeah, I know Coach Cole would have wished that they would have bled that one out a little bit because that could be 20 yards.
Perhaps something to talk about on the sideline here. 57 seconds to go in the first half of play. Lew-Port will take the ball from their own 35. It's the most yardage in front of them that they've had to look to gain before the end zone so far today. Their worst field position, if you will.
Yeah, I think it was a good decision on Burgard to punt there. Granted that they could execute it, which they did, because I don't know if they thought about it at all, but this is a long march for Lew-Port.
1st and 10 at the 35, under a minute to go. Benito launches down the near side. Barber comes back for it, and it just falls incomplete.
Barber stopped running there a little bit, and then he had to catch back up. If he would have just kept his pace, I thought that ball was right on.
They were hitting on that all day on Tuesday. A rollout toss down the sideline. Barber, I don't know if he had some sticky tack on his gloves on Tuesday or what it was. He didn't drop a single pass.
Well, I think what happens sometimes is he's just running clean in practice, and then for whatever reason in the game, he second-guessed that ball, but he shouldn't have. He kept going there. He would have had it.
He had the defender beat. 1st and 10 at the 30, make it 2nd and 10 at the 35. Another throw. This one short to Marshall. Marshall's got a hole up the middle. Beats one defender. Spins his way near the 45, and he picks up the first down.
Yeah, Marshall's tough, huh?
You could say that again.
40 seconds left here. See how they get a timeout.
So Starks will sit on the sideline. His team looking to stop this drive as The Burgard Bulldogs would like to take this one to half 6-0. Last year, these two teams played once. It was at Lewiston-Porter, an 8-2 final score. Burgard led mostly the entire game, 8-0. And on the final drive, they gave up a safety so that they wouldn't give the ball back with too much time. It was a coaching decision, says Kolb. So he likes his defense, his chances against the Lancers. This year, a different team on both sides. A freshman starting for Lewiston-Porter. A young roster for the Burgard Bulldogs. 20 seasons coaching for Jason Kolb.
Yeah, Coach Kolb's been here since I can remember, and a lot of good teams over the years. A lot of talent, a lot of success. I know he's young now, and the ups and downs of things, but he's done a good job over the years. He's been here a long time.
40 seconds to go in the first half. The Lewiston-Porter Lancers, 1st and 10 from their own 45. Marshall will get a couple. Clock continues to run under 30 seconds before the timeout is taken by Derek Tracy.
And I think they try to catch Burgard there rushing. They threw a little screen out there. Burgard had it hemmed in. With 28 seconds left and second down. Look for Lewiston-Porter to take a shot or two here.
28 seconds to go. We've seen the arm from Benito. Keep an eye out on Matt Barber and Jake Quantarillo downfield. The senior Barber has shown his ability to get open along the sidelines as we've got a scoring update from Williamsville South, 14-10, as Turnbull hits a field goal for the Ken East Bulldogs in the second quarter there.
And Burgard had two safeties there that last down, which wasn't what they were running earlier. They're playing the situation, so I don't know if Lewiston-Porter has a play dialed up to beat that, but they seem to be in cover 4 here. I don't think they're going to let anyone behind them.
7 to go. Little trickery in the backfield. Benito goes deep down the left side, tipped and incomplete. Quantarillo was down there, but it's Guilford.
Oh, flea flicker, Jack.
Got to pull everything out here on the final drive of the first half.
I haven't seen one of those in a while.
What are you looking for when you run the flea flicker from the defense to do?
You're trying to get those corners peeking in the backfield, which I'd like to see a replay of that. I don't think he was. He's hanging with him. He either recovered or he didn't fall for it. But you're hoping to get those cornerbacks peeking in the backfield and reacting to the handoff. Sometimes in these situations, those defensive backs are just running out of there because they know it's a passing situation.
3rd down and 7 from their own 48. The Lewiston-Porter Lancers have 21 seconds to work with. And 2 timeouts. Benito throws over the middle. This one is incomplete. Looked like it skipped off the turf, and it did. As Matt Skursky thought he had the catch, and the official fooled. Regardless, it'll stop the clock with 15 seconds to go, and it'll bring up 4th down and 7.
Yeah, I would hate these situations where you're forced to punt with 15 seconds left.
The last drive for the Lancers ended on a turnover on downs after 4 straight incomplete passes. They've got 2 straight here, bringing up 4th and long. 15 seconds to go. They keep the offense on the field. Benito in shotgun. Snap at his feet. Scoops it up. Steps up in the pocket. Washington beats the lineman there and takes the ball out from the quarterback. However, the play is ruled dead. Regardless, Burgard gets the ball on a turnover on downs.
Yeah. As I was saying, I hate defending those situations where it's, well, not defending it, being with the ball with 15 seconds left, because now you're going to defend a play you didn't have to if you ran the clock differently.
You think this final 7 seconds could have already ticked by if Burgard had let the punt roll before giving up possession on that last time.
Seconds out there everywhere for sure.
1st and 10 now for the Bulldogs. They've got all 3 timeouts.
Who's he going to throw it up to, Jack?
Well, you look on the near sideline, you got number 16, Wiggins. Starks is looking his way. into triple coverage. It's incomplete. Wiggins was there. He bobbled it once, and finally it falls down as the clock has finally reached double zeros. 6-0. The Lewiston-Porter Lancers have the lead. They didn't score a touchdown last time these two teams played. This time, the Lancers have the lone score in half number 1. Francis Beck grabs head coach Jason Kolb from the sidelines. He'll have a chat with him at midfield before we get into our halftime festivities. We'll throw it down now to Francis Beck. Francis?
Coach Jason Kolb, the Burgard Bulldogs, down 6-0 at the half, but you almost had a Hail Mary that paid off. What did you take away from this first half?
We made a lot of mistakes and stuff like that, a lot of miscues. The guys just got to, come together and figure out, what they need to do when they're not getting the ball. I thought that, they could play hard. Defense is playing hard. They executed and we didn't. It's really the bottom line to that. Offensively, we know what we did wrong, and we're going to go make those corrections at halftime.
All right, you're only down 6-0. So what are some of those directions you think you can make the difference in the second half?
We got to use, Dougie a little bit more. We're going to go back to, a little bit more of, using him and stuff. Just systematically, we got to, work the offense a little bit better and stuff. We got off. We're deep in the hole. We got to go 2 sticks on a lot of the first couple drives, couple of stupid penalties. Those are those miscues, and it puts us in a hole, and the kids are rushing. This game, and it's a long half here, so hopefully we can bounce back from it.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
We will now take a break and bring you back with Tom Prince to talk about the upcoming schedule on Western New York Athletics for all things high school football this weekend. After this break here on Western New York Athletics, this is Thursday Night High School Football.
There's nothing better than owning the home too. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illness?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
One.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
Life can be full of surprises, but not a good kind. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care, and we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today. Life can be full of surprises.
Halftime. Halftime at Riverside High School, 6-0 lead for the Lewiston-Porter Lancers so far. The lone touchdown coming from James Marshall, the running back for the Lancers, with the lone touchdown so far today. Here on halftime, it's the Lancers on top, 6-0. We now bring in Tom Prince, the man, the myth, the legend of Western New York athletics. Tom, we've got 5 games on our networks this weekend. We'll start out with our slate for Friday Night Lights. All at 7 p.m. We've got 3 games. I'll run through them with you. Niagara Falls at Jamestown. What can we expect for that? Though first, we do want to mention the Friday night final drive will be with Francis Beck. More on that in a minute. Here's Niagara Falls and Jamestown. Tom, what can we expect?
Honestly, you're probably going to see Jamestown. This should be, what you've seen is a lopsided affair. Jamestown has stepped up against some of the best in a AA conference already, right? Took Lancaster to the brink, took Orchard Park to the brink. No doubt that Jamestown's going to be a really tough game for Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls really trying to come and get that first win under their belt. I have a feeling it may be a little bit longer right there on that one.
It's a tough matchup for Niagara Falls, but what will be a fun matchup and one that all of Western New York has been waiting for what seems like decades, Canisius at Lancaster.
Yeah, this is going to be a great one. And this is 2 teams that are very similar in the way they play, right? You're going to rely on that running game. Micah Harry is going to be the key for Lancaster, but the difference is the line play. Canisius does have that much big, strong line. Now, the difference is Lancaster does a lot of different stunts, a lot of different things that makes you really have to move and be in the right place. They will absolutely challenge still that line out there, and they can do that, and they will find some holes for Micah Harry. The difference is who will win out in this one, and it could come down to the quarterback play. With right now Nicholas Pencheviv of Canisius, right now probably a little bit stronger at that quarterback position. But again, I will never, ever bet against a Lancaster team. I'll tell you that.
We saw them last week. We were at Lancaster and their dominant performance over Hutch Tech. So that'll be a fun one. Obviously, Canisius coming off that big rivalry win over St. Joe's. I knew a couple people that weren't picking the Crusaders to come out of that, but they take care of business in their rivalry game. Our final game tomorrow, Falconer, Cassadaga Valley, and Maple Grove head back to Cheektowaga. They lost their one game of this year at Cheektowaga. They go back to the town of Cheektowaga this time to take on an undefeated Maryville team.
And Maryville may even be a little bit stronger than Cheektowaga is, right? But if you remember,
watch who you're saying that to, Tom.
Well, and I get it. But this is Justice Hill is a legit running back. This kid is a beast to try to tackle out there, and no doubt so is Warburton. And I don't want I got to give that kid credit too. But let's look at this here. Cassadaga Maple Grove Falconer, right? The tongue twister right there, right? You can see they were in that game to Cheektowaga the half. Cheektowaga does pull away in the second half. Then they learn from it, go down and take on Olean, and it was they went convincingly against a good Olean team. So now they're going to come back up and try to do this against the Maryville team, which is a very strong team. And they're right now looking to get some of that recognition that they feel that they deserve. Maryville, this is going to be a tough one for Falconer, Cassadaga Valley, Maple Grove. But I'm going to tell you, do not count them out because they've been in every single game, and I expect to be them in this one too.
Perhaps a future playoff matchup this week in Class B. Then Saturday, we've got 2 games on our networks. At 1 p.m., Eden at Lackawanna, and 1:30, Portville at CSP, 2 smaller school games.
But that's a C division game that Eden-Lackawanna right there. It was one that every year is a great one. This Eden team is for real, led by Matt Sweet right now. No doubt he is a good quarterback. He can run, he can sling, and he can do a lot. I love Geschel over there on the other side for Lackawanna. To me, one of the most underrated quarterbacks here in Western New York. And no doubt Geschel can come out there and come up big. And I tell you, the difference in this one will go to the trenches. That line for Lackawanna is a big line. Sunday and Sammy will tell you exactly that for Lackawanna, right? And I'll tell you is they really could come up big. But I'll tell you, that's a rivalry game, a rivalry inside that division. That'll be a great one. And then, come on, Portville CSP. Portville wants to make sure they get their respect. They came in against Franklinville-Ellicottville, took them to overtime this past week. I expect the same exact type of game for CSP, this CSP game. This is going to be a great one and a great lineup.
The only other thing we need you to notice this weekend is with Francis Beck on Friday night. If you want to catch all your high school football needs on Friday night, and you know you've got 3 games on our networks along with the huddle cameras from 7 other schools across Western New York. Francis Beck has you covered on the Friday night final drive, 7:30 to 10. It's pro coverage for high school football. It's a red zone channel for Western New York high school football. Francis takes you through the action, all the scoring plays, and if he misses a scoring play in one game, don't worry, he'll let you know about it. Scoring updates and all of that on the Friday night final drive. We will take a break here at halftime and come back with Mike Fatta for a recap of half number 1 as we set you up for the second half between the Lewiston-Porter Lancers and the Burgard Bulldogs, currently a 6-0 lead for the Lancers. We'll be back right after this on Western New York Athletics.
Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088.
Back from our halftime break, we send you now down to the field with Francis Beck, who's got Coach Derek Tracy with him. Francis?
All right, I'm with Coach Derek Tracy of Lewiston-Porter. Guys are up 6-0. Going in the half, it's defensive struggle. What was the message to your guys in the locker room?
Well, keep our foot on the pedal. You know, we're the better team. We're the better team, but yet it's only 6-0. We got to come out, finish drives. Defensively, we just got to contain. They break tackles, they extend plays, but I like the position we're in, and we're going to go out and score some more points.
Who has stood out for you so far? Who's really impressed you in this first half?
Well, on our side of the ball, James Marshall. Like I said, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. If we can get the ball 50 times, we can get him the ball 50 times. Also, our quarterback, Mason Benito. He's a freshman. He doesn't play like a freshman. He's a tough kid.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Jack, Mike, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Francis. 6-0, the Lewiston-Porter Lancers lead the way. They dominated the yardage in the first half, 136-65. Lewiston-Porter leading the way on total offensive yards in the first half. Burgard nearly tied things up on the final play of that half, though.
Yeah, I know Coach Tracy's confident, but he's a play away from being down here. And, you know, if Wiggins could have hauled that in, that would have been a big play, obviously, for Burgard, right? So, you know, it was some pivotal possessions there at the very end of the second half. No one ended up with points, but it could have really gone either way with big swings. But here we are. Lewiston-Porter's about to get the ball and looking to capitalize on the first possession of the second half.
So the Lewiston-Porter Lancers happy with their 6-0 lead at halftime. They've never beaten the Burgard Bulldogs. All time, they have been outscored 213-78 in 8 matches, losing all 8 going back to 2012. Sheesh is right. 6-0, however, is all that matters right now. That's the score of this game. The Lancers lead the way. That Burgard halftime locker room speech must have been a bit presumptuous. I'm going to be in that they can't be too upset with that first half, down just 1 score. Like you said, 1 play away from tying things up and maybe even taking the lead.
Well, sure, and I know Burgard has some explosiveness on their side, and should be an interesting second half with the score so tight and the way the teams have been executing.
Quantarillo deep to receive for the Lewiston-Porter Lancers, along with Matt Barber. Marquavius Bradley boots it away from the 40. It doesn't make its way to Quantarillo, instead taken at the 35 along the near side. Here comes Liam Timke cutting back to the middle. Timke has a lane if he can get there. Timke slows up at the 45. Thought he lost the football, but Timke is able to fall down before the 50-yard line.
And Timke ran about 200 yards there. But it almost worked. He almost scooted out the left side there.
They'll take it from their own side of the 50, though some of their best field position on the day. At their own 47.
Well, Timke went right. He came back to the left side, and number 14, Justin Chamberlain, was kind of surprised that he came back out the backside and got around him, and he almost broke it.
The Lewiston-Porter bench looking on with their arms folded as their freshman quarterback looks to continue his day so far. 7 completions, 69 yards for the freshman. Under center, he hands this one off. Up the middle, Quinn Walton bumbles his way past the 50. Shy of the first down marker, though a good gain on first.
Lewiston comes out in the old T formation there and just straight dive downhill for a quick 7 yards. Pretty effective. And a quick hitter right past the D-line of Burgard.
Walton had 1 rush for a loss of 7 in the first half, nearly gets himself even on the first play from scrimmage in half number 2. Second down and 4 from the 48. Just 2 receivers, 1 wide to each side. Handoff again for Walton. At the line of scrimmage, he's held up. Got to hang on to that football. Walton does just that. Nearly trying to steal it away was number 16, Tariq Wiggins.
And right back to it for Lewiston with that straight dive out of the tee, and this time Burgard was ready for it.
No gain on second down. 3rd and 4. A crucial stop this would be for the Bulldogs.
We'll spread them out this time, 2 by 2. Receiver looking in motion. Nope.
Benito in shotgun, looks across the middle, incomplete. Looking for the tight end, Halgish.
Yeah, Helgash had a quick hitch there. The throw was off target. 4th and 4 here. I think they're going to go for it, Jack. I know Burgard would love to get out of here with possession.
The Lancers 1 for 5 on 4th down. The one time they converted, set him up for a 2-yard touchdown rush from Marshall.
Spreading him out again. Oh.
And an offside will give the first down to the Lancers.
That just kills you as a defensive football coach to give that away.
Especially a former D lineman and yourself. What are you telling yourself in that situation?
If I jump offsides?
Yeah.
That happened all the time.
Glenn Graham wasn't too happy with you, though.
Sucker for that. Yeah.
Under 9.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Lewiston on the first drive of the half picks up a first down thanks to an offsides penalty.
Some new formations as they come out of the second half here. So
Benito steps up in the pocket, delivers over the middle, tipped and intercepted. Conte Land comes down with it after it tipped off the hands of Matt Barber.
You know, this comes with experience, but I think Benito held that ball a little too soon. He should have thrown it a little sooner. That slant came open immediately, and he held on to it just long enough for Burgard to recover and get a tip there. And again, I think that comes with experience, but you know, watching film with Coach Tracy, I'm sure that's something he'll go over and have a little more confidence in himself. Because I think a couple of times today he had a throw and he just didn't pull the trigger. But again, as only a freshman, those are things that'll come along.
From their own 31-yard line, the Burgard Bulldogs still looking for their first points on the day. This, their first drive in the second half. They had 5 drives in the first half. They had 2 punts, 2 turnover on downs, and the end of the half cut their last drive short after just 1 play.
Marshall on a stop there. He plays both sides pretty tough because he brought down the big guy immediately.
And it's a loss of 3 on the play for Washington.
Washington hasn't had a chance to get going too much here. He had a decent couple runs early in the game, but since then, didn't really fed him too much.
Right before halftime, Francis Beck talked with the head coach for the Bulldogs. Jason Colby said he wanted to get number 1 involved more offensively. They do on the first 2 plays from scrimmage. There you see Washington not too happy, I would assume, with the offensive line there.
Yeah, he needs to keep his composure. He's not helping anyone acting like that.
Pickup of 2 on the play will bring them 3rd and 11 from the 30-yard line. The junior quarterback, Najee Starks, relaying signals to his receivers. Kente Land on the near side was confused where to go, so Kolb calls the timeout to talk about things on 3rd and 11.
That's a good timeout for Coach Kolb. This could be crucial for him. They pick up a first down here. They can keep on plugging away, but you know, something goes awry in the near third and 16. That's not going to be any good for him.
We heard from the Burgard team this week that the running game is their identity. Though they've got a quarterback in Starks who's shown the ability to throw the ball, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air through the first half of the season. Coach, what are you expecting here on 3rd and 11? Have to be through the air at this point, right?
Well, you'd think they'd throw the ball, right? You know, thing is that Lewiston-Porter defense, they're in that 3-5, which is built to kind of stunt and move and blitz, and you know, I'm sure that's been a little confusing to the Burgard offensive line. I know that was something new that Lewiston-Porter threw in this week, and it's a lot different for those offensive linemen when they have guards that are used to having someone over them that now don't. It changes their rules, and I'm sure that has something to do with the frustration that the run game is seen for Burgard.
Now 5 up near the offensive line. They send all 5. Starks has time, though. Rolls to his left. Starks tucks it at the 30. Makes 2 men miss. Finally wrapped up and taken down around the 33.
A little post wheel on the near side here that was well covered by Lewiston-Porter. The post route was a little too tight. Didn't really combine with that wheel too well.
James Marshall on the stop on 3rd down. It'll bring up 4th and 9 after the pickup of 2. A scoring update as Starpoint comes up with a couple turnovers, but the South Park Sparks get themselves the ball and convert on a pick 6. Nani Rivera makes it a 30-0 game. The Sparks leading the way late in the second quarter. We've moved along much faster than that game across the way in Buffalo. 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. The Lancers will have their second offensive possession of the half with 6:43 to go in the third quarter.
And with Burgard really not being able to execute much anything on offense, and Newport really has to start taking advantage of their possessions, because let this Burgard team hang around, and you could tell they're a team that could strike quickly. So if you're Newport, you're going to want to score here, or at least get some yards to flip this field, because you don't want to let Burgard hang around.
We've seen the Ken Dorsey-like offense from Newport, wanting to throw the ball more than run. Though at this point in the game, how much do you think about killing the clock with your two men in the backfield?
I don't think that's a factor yet. I think he just wants to maintain his balance, and feed this guy is not a bad idea.
How about the balance from James Marshall? 1 touchdown on the day, and he adds a good gain on first down.
And once again, those straight dives, and Marshall's kind of built for that kind of run. He's a straight-ahead guy, and he finishes them.
Marshall picks up 8 on first down, his 11th carry on the day. That's actually his longest run so far today. Marshall picks up 8 on first. 2nd and 2 now from the 49 of Newport. Handoff this time to Walton. Had to bobble the football, able to hang on to it. The big fullback dives over the 50, though he's held short of the first down. Good wrap up in the middle of the defense for the Bulldogs, and number 58.
Well, same play other way, right? Just got two big backs back there. And 3rd and 1, we'll see if they stick to that or they get fancy and may roll Benito out of the pocket.
Well, 58 not on the roster for Burgard. Apologies there. Wish we could get you his name. 6-0 the score. 3rd and 1. Newport looking to add on to their lead. They continue to push the line, and the line continues to move. A first down, all effort for the Lancers.
That was a battle of wills that Newport came on top of. Burgard knew what was coming. They had 9 guys to the line of scrimmage. They stuffed it initially, but that pile was jockeying back and forth, and Newport came out on top.
A 2-yard gain brings up a 1st and 10 for the Lancers.
Let's see if Newport can keep their patience here and keep the ball on the ground.
Benito under center. A receiver wide on each side. This pitch to Marshall. Trying to push away from Washington. He forgot about the man behind him. Marshall gets taken down for a hefty loss on first.
83 Helgash was trying to get the edge for Newport, but there was a Burgard defender on the far side there. I couldn't really see who that was, but he was stretching it out and set the edge, and all his buddies came with him.
Jahad Johnson eventually got in for the tackle, and the loss of 7.
That was a big loss there.
Under 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 17 from their own 45. 6-0 lead for the Lancers after they scored on their 2nd drive of the game. Benito throws over the middle, tipped, nearly intercepted again. Guilford was there, though it fell before he could get to it.
A lot of drop balls in this game on both sides, really, and in both sides, offense and defense. There's a couple plays that are going to turn this game around completely.
Earlier in the season, you'd say it's week 1, week 2 jitters, but at this point, you're 5 weeks in. This game crucial to the playoff race in Class B, a divisional game. Burgard 0-2 in B1, looking for their first win to keep them alive for the postseason. Newport needing a win to get up to that 3-4 spot within the division. They're 1-1 in conference play so far.
Yeah, there's a sense that Newport's the better team, but again, the longer that Burgard hangs around, they have guys over there that can turn the tide quickly with one play. And the 3rd and long here, I don't know what Newport has.
The handoff along the near side. Able to find some room. Timke Not able to move the chains, though he gained some of it back.
I think Timke got just enough there to make him think twice about punting. It'd be interesting their approach here from Lewiston-Porter. I think they're going to go for it, Jack.
12-yard pickup for Timke on his second run of the day. He's got an 11-yard run and a 12-yard run. Look out for number 19 out of the backfield. 4th and 5. Two and a half to go in the third quarter. Lewiston-Porter looking to stay out on the field. This their 6th attempt on 4th down. Benito throws. It is caught at the 35, shaking off 2 defenders. Quantarillo to the 15, finally taken down. Jake Quantarillo makes the play on 4th down.
Quantarillo comes up clutch. I would say that might be the play of the game thus far. 4th and 5, I could move the chains. If that wasn't complete, it'd be going the other way. Big play from Quantarillo and his quarterback, Benito.
A 28-yard gain on 4th down moves the chains. First down run for Marshall is stuffed.
I know the coach likes throwing the ball down here. If he has a play action off that play, Burgard corners like playing outside leverage. They definitely have a seam there if he wants to go to it. No new formation here at the trips to the near side.
Quantarillo outside your screen all the way to the bottom of that formation. He gets the screen pass at the 15. He's met there immediately. Doug Washington wraps him up along with number 16, Wiggins.
Yeah, Wiggins all over that. I think Burgard saw that coming. Again, the middle field's open there. I think if Lewiston wants to throw the ball, that's where they should be going.
A loss of 2 on 2nd down will bring them back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. The Lancers have converted on 3rd and 4th downs time and time again today. Burgard needs a stop as we enter the final 30 seconds of the third quarter. Benito looks over the middle, throws to the right side, tipped in the air, incomplete. That time looking for Barber. Defensive coverage from Kente Land.
Yeah, once again, Barber had his hands on it.
Well, with all the soccer players on the roster, do you think about kicking a field goal here and going up 2 scores?
Well, they attempted the one extra point. It was blocked, so maybe coach doesn't have confidence in that, but doesn't appear that's the case.
It's like you keep your faith in the freshman quarterback. The offense stays on the field.
They're going to kick it.
Oh, no. I take it all back. How about that? They setting down a tee. Well, that's no good.
You could hear the disappointment in the Lewiston fans. They really expected that to go through.
Nonetheless, 6-0 we stand. 18 seconds to go in the third quarter of play. Burgard gets away with that.
Letting them hang around, Jack. You know, we've seen some good burst out of Wiggins. Johnson, Jihad Johnson. Those guys, probably the fastest guys in the field that we've seen. Other than maybe Starks. But I don't know, I'm thinking maybe Coach Cole wants to get the ball in those guys' hands quickly. I know he's got those wide receiver screens in. He's got his jet sweeps. But he also has his pro eye handoff to Doug Washington.
And there it is. Keep the clock moving. Perhaps let it wind down to end the third quarter. 6-0, the Lewiston-Porter Lancers. They scored on their second drive of the game. James Marshall had that way back in the drive started in quarter number 1. It ended in quarter number 2 with that Marshall touchdown. We haven't had a score since. The third quarter has completed. 6-0 we stand as we send you down to the sideline with Francis Beck. Francis.
Jack, Mike, we know Buffalo Public Schools, they're set up differently than most of the suburban schools where a lot of these high schools are specialized, have certain interests. We know performing arts is obviously for performing arts, city honors through their top students. Well, Burgard is their vocational program. They actually have welding and auto repair in there. So if you're having car trouble, you may take your car to a Burgard alum. Take that to think about that. Jack, Mike, I'll send it back to you.
Okay, Francis. Well, there you go, Mike. If you need your car fixed, go ahead and call up a Burgard Bulldog.
Is that a thing?
At the vocational school.
Right.
A couple of players on the roster here today from both Burgard Vocational School and Performing Arts High School. Those two combine to be this Bulldogs team you see here today.
What's the rate?
I guess that'll depend on who you go to. I guarantee you Doug Washington's not losing any money changing your oil.
No.
Doug was a good sport, gave me a good interview for our pregame reel there that you saw. You can catch it on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you missed it. Second and 9 as we start the fourth quarter. Lewiston-Porter scored back in quarter number 2. No one has scored since. It's looked like a Nebraska football game here tonight.
I'd like to see Bradley run straight down the field here and flip this field up.
Instead, it's a handoff to Johnson. Turns the corner at the 20, and he's tripped up. Good tackle at the knees put on by David Kennedy.
Good gain, trying to get the ball in the hands of his speed, like we were talking about. The third manageable here.
A pickup of 4 will bring up third down. Well, we'll call it a gain of 3. Third down and 6. At the 25, Starks in shotgun. 2 receivers on each side. McNeil in motion. Starks keeps it. Turns the corner around the left side. Marshall bears down on him, and Starks is met there. James Marshall and Peter Aversa combine for the tackle and will bring up fourth down.
Yeah, so close there. And Starks is motoring, but stopped in his tracks by Marshall. The feeling that Marshall's a weight room guy, huh?
It looks like it at least.
Yeah.
Had that injury last week, came back. Coach said they need bubble wrap for that guy, though. So he spends a lot of time in the weight room, perhaps maybe take a day off. Skip leg day once in a while, James.
Lewiston's coming after this.
And a timeout is called, and Burgard saw what you saw, Coach. What did you see there?
Yeah, they're lining up. They're trying to come off the left side, I think. They had a lot of numbers over there. Or maybe Burgard didn't have enough guys in the field. That might have been a factor.
Did you see only 10 out there for the Bulldogs?
I didn't, but I'm assuming a lot, but something was amiss.
Well, there you see number 18 slide his way to the sideline, Keyshawn Salays. The junior not in the huddle. He was on the field. Perhaps you're right, Coach. Could have had 12 out there. The Lewiston-Porter huddle gathered around their defensive coordinator, Tim Shippey. He's had a lot more to say for this team than not this week. This defense really getting a workout.
And it's frustrating as a coach to have to waste a timeout because your special teams aren't in order.
Do you think about a fake here? 4th and 2. 10.5 to go. We've seen Lewiston-Porter kill off 8 minutes on a drive. It was the one they scored on back in the second quarter.
Burgard has punted the ball reasonably well. You do see him milling around here to come after this off the left edge.
Marquavius Bradley deep.
I try to draw him off sides, but oh, you got it off.
Bradley boots it away. This one will still not even take a Burgard-friendly roll. Bounces right on the S and stops at the 45. The Lew-Port offense will take the field right after this on Western New York Athletics.
Western New York location, whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well. Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where.
First and 10 from their own 45. The Lew-Port Lancers will come out of the break with 10:14 to go in the quarter. It's a run up the middle, and Marshall loses the football. The Burgard Bulldogs fall on it. Zaray Haynes falls on the loose ball inside the 45s. Burgard, just like that, get back on the field.
Yeah, you have a sense that this is their chance. 10 minutes left in the game. The momentum swings their way. They're about midfield. They've been battling all day. Let's hope they can capitalize on that for their efforts.
Burgard's third drive this half. 10:06 to go in the fourth quarter from their own 48-yard line. Hand off to Washington. Pushes a man to his knees. Doug Washington bowls another one over. Washington spins his way and stays in bounds. Doug, how do you do? Down to the 14-yard line.
Coach Braun up here was begging for the counter, Jack.
He got it.
He got it. I don't know if some messages went down there to Coach Cole, but it worked, and here they are in scoring position. And Washington was a man on a mission there. He looked like Marshawn there, didn't he?
42-yard gain, just shy of a beastquake.
Yeah, impressive run there. He showed some speed, and he showed some toughness and a little stiffy. His stiff arm out, he had all of it on that run.
What a change of tides. Starks takes the snap and rolls to the left. He's got a blocker with him. Starks is wrapped up just shy of the goal line.
Great block on the left side there. Looked like Brashton McNeil sealing the edge, leading the way. He's our H-back on the left side of the line.
First down and goal at the 1. Starks under center, handoff Washington, touchdown Bulldogs. It took 2 quarters to get a second score, but the Burgard Bulldogs have tied it at 6.
I don't think there's any guessing as to who's going to get that ball. The big guy right up the gut. Lew-Port was there initially, but he ran right through the tackle, and there's a crucial player there in their little swinging gate here.
Starks keeps it, pushes to the right, tries to make another man miss. The entire Lew-Port defense converges on him and stops it for nothing. 6-6 we stand. 8:40 to go in the fourth quarter. The Lancers looking to respond right after this on Western New York Athletics.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
A 3-play drive that killed off just over a minute 30 seconds for the Burgard Bulldogs, capped off by a 1-yard run by the man who set him up with a 39-yard gain, Doug Washington. Capitalizes on his opportunity for his second touchdown on the season. We're tied at 6 after the swinging gate 2-point conversion was snuffed out by the Lewiston-Porter defense. The Burgard Bulldogs and Marquavius Bradley set to kick it away. A squib up the left side. Slid down on by a Lancer in Peter Aversa. That's right where the Lewiston-Porter offense will take the field on their own 41.
Good play there. That could have been dangerous. The ball takes a weird bounce and could be going the other way. Crucial drive here for Lewiston-Porter to see if they can answer.
Their last time out, one play fumbled. That resulted in Burgard possession, and they marched down and scored in less than 2 minutes.
Well, we've been saying, Jack, that Burgard's dangerous. They can strike quickly, and they just did. See if Lewiston-Porter can answer.
Benito